Burnout is what happens when you avoid being human for too long. Now, burnout is something that we need to discuss, raise awareness of, and find out what you can do to help before it's too late. That's this week's video in a nutshell, and I really hope this video helps you. So let's begin with the basics. What exactly is burnout? Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion which is caused by excessive and prolonged levels of stress. Now, the term burnout was originally coined by NASA to describe a rocket which is out of fuel. Gravitational forces mean that it's still moving, but it's essentially useless. And I personally think it's a very good analogy, because there are many of us who have a stressful job and appear to be on track working as normal, yet functioning very poorly and not able to change course. So does that mean that burnout is stress? Well, not really, because stress is actually a high energy state where everything is go, go, go. It's caused by a lack of control, so you're having to work harder and harder to meet demand. Now, burnout, on the other hand, is a low energy state. You've run out of energy to do anything, you're going through motions and feel demotivated, and worst of all, you may even feel that your work is meaningless. So I feel like we're really starting to understand burnout a little better now, but now let's discuss the symptoms of burnout. So burnout is characterized by three main features. The first one is exhaustion and fatigue. This is where you're extremely tired because you've got prolonged levels of stress for a long period. Now, the symptoms of this might include struggling to get out of bed or having extreme lethargy. So your get up and go has got up and gone. Next up, we have perceived or actual poor performance. People suffering from burnout often feel that their performance is suffering. If the burnout isn't recognized and treated, perception often becomes a reality. And lastly, we have depersonalization. This characteristically presents a cynicism and a lack of empathy. So let's say, for example, you're a healthcare professional. This may mean that you begin to treat patients as objects. And these three features can lead to so many symptoms and signs of burnout, which include anxiety, insomnia, headaches, other physical illnesses, feeling a lack of purpose, little interest in work, and a dread of going to work, among many others. So we now know what burnout is, what causes it, what symptoms to look out for, but just how bad is burnout for our bodies? Well, let's find out. Well, in burnout, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which releases cortisol, is put into turmoil. Cortisol is one of the stress hormones released when we perceive a threat. For example, an imminent attack by a bear, or perhaps a complaint about you. Now, in a normally functioning HPA axis, that's what we call it for short, once the threat has gone, the cortisol drops off and returns to normal. However, under prolonged stress, we operate under increasing levels of cortisol, which never returns to normal. So the body responds by eventually down-regulating cortisol production to an abnormally low level, and we may experience a state of hypocortisolism, where we have literally burned out our stress response system. And as we know from our endocrine patients, hypocortisolism produces low-grade inflammation, which brings many health problems, including coronary heart disease. So understanding the physiology of what is going on makes it even more important that we understand how to treat and prevent burnout. So let's discuss that. So when it comes to managing burnout in ourselves and others, we should look into the 3 R's. So firstly, we need to recognize it early, because most of us leave it way too late and it becomes a lot harder to treat. So the first point is recognize it early and seek help. So if you find yourself being exhausted, regularly dreading to go to work, and you feel that your performance is slipping, then these are the kinds of signs that alarm bells should be ringing on. Now, the good news is there are a few tests that you can do online. They're very easy to do to check for these kinds of symptoms, so I will leave a link to them in the description below for you. Please check them out. Now, moving on to the second R, which is reverse and treat. But please remember, we're all different, so certain treatments might work for you and might not work for others, but generally speaking, these are the kinds of things that you need to do. Rest. You may need to take a significant time off of work. This is okay. If you had a broken leg or you were undergoing chemotherapy, no one would expect you to be at work. You often need much longer than you originally think. Talking therapies like counseling, CBT, and other therapies can help. Speak to a few different therapists and decide what will work for you. Remove the stressor, or at least limit your exposure to it. Look, if you're taking time off work for burnout and then you go back to that exact same situation with the exact same demand, the same workload, the same pressures, the same stress, it's like taking time off work because you've had some poison and you've recovered, then you go back to work and drink the same poison again. Also, seek professional help. If you think you're suffering from burnout, make an appointment to speak to your healthcare professional about it. And the final R, reset your life and build resilience. Resilience is the process of adapting well in the face of adversity. It means bouncing back from difficult experiences. Now, resilience and building it is quite unique for each individual. So the best thing to do, what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna leave a few links in the description below, and I'd recommend everyone reads it so they can get a better idea of it and how to apply it to yourself. Look, I understand it can be very difficult to recognize and admit burnout to yourself, which is why it's super important that you regularly check in with yourself, with your friends, with your colleagues, to make sure that you prevent or treat burnout before it's too late. I really do hope that you find the information in this video helpful, and as always, if you have any of your own tips, please leave a comment below because I'd love to read it, and I'm sure everyone watching this video would too. That's it for this week's video. Always remember you're awesome. I'm gonna go back to my holiday now. I'll see you next week.
Yes, yes.
Now, 1 minute. Now, ready? Now. I've got an ant on me now. Now, are you ready? Now, burnout on the other hand. Now. How was that?
Yes.
Oh, and I was, It's the heat.
It hurts my brain when you like repeat things over and over.
3 R's.
You've got a boat that's just appeared next to you.
See that as soon as you press that button, he pipes up. So not all these treatments. 1 minute. Now. Every time I'm about to start, it's got blah, blah, blah. Now moving on to the second R, which is reverse. Hey guys, thanks for watching this week's video. Make sure to click that like, follow or subscribe button now to stay up to date with new weekly videos.